Life is a dirty life. People be careful of the food you eat in here. Some parasitic food. Like you see ramen. But like ramen. Ramen does make them boom. Because ramen now have a parasite in it. A parasite in it now. When you eat it now, the bottom tingling and clapping. When they hear it attack and tittery tack.
This is Brighter Star, a Caribbean content creator and musical artist from the country of Grenada, and the viral TikTok video in question has been seen by over 148,000 people, accompanied by 17.8 thousand likes. Now, the topic being discussed is ramen. Yeah, you heard that right, ramen. By taking a look at the comment section, most users would comment on the video in two distinctive ways. Ramen does make them boom! And I've eaten ramen again. It's easy to laugh at a comment as the first one, but the second one would really be lurking in your mind if you're a curious person. The information may come off as satirical or laughable, but what if it isn't? What if ramen really does make
them boom?
The only way to find out is by pouring tons of hours into researching, recording, and editing into one video. Guess what? This is that video. This is ramen, the food that has Caribbean heritage. It is general knowledge that ramen are quick cooking noodles that are combined with a selection of meats or vegetables in Japanese cuisine. By scaling down to a subset of ramen known as instant ramen, it was created by a Japanese-Taiwanese inventor and entrepreneur, Momofuku Ando. Mr. Ando was born on March 5, 1910 in the city of Kaji, now known as Chiayi, in Taiwan. He was raised by his grandparents in Tainan, Taiwan, after his parents died when he was just a child. Over the upcoming years, Mr. Ando would start multiple businesses and firms like charcoal production and the founding of a school until he struck gold with his salt producing company, Nissin. You see, Mr. Ando always had a strong desire to do something new that no one else was doing, and that mindset would lead to one of the greatest creations of the 20th century. Picture walking through the streets of Osaka, Japan on a cold winter's night. You come across a long queue of people in front of an unlicensed food stall waiting for guess what? Ramen. And in that moment you tell yourself, peace will come when people have food. So what do? Well, you decide to create a solution. Instant ramen noodles. Post-World War II left Japan's population hungry without much of a food supply. So the US decided to donate a lot of wheat flour to Japan. It was initially going to be used for bread production, but it was instead used for ramen noodles sold in food carts. Mr. Ando would then return to his house in Ikeda, where he would use the shed behind his home to experiment. He tried different ways of mixing, drying, and flavoring the noodles until the idea finally popped up. Mr. Ando would sprinkle the noodles with chicken soup and began to fry them shortly after. He would then add boiling water to the fried noodles, to which they moistened and released their chicken flavor. And that was it. Instant ramen noodles was invented. Now it was time to share his creation with the world. Mr. Ando would debut his instant ramen noodles in 1958, packaged as simply chicken ramen, and it was marketed by his company Nissin in many Japanese stores. Its packaging was described as a plastic pouch protecting noodles from air and moisture, but not crushing. When the chicken ramen initially stepped out on the market, it would be more expensive than a fresh cup of noodles, priced at 6 yen, as compared to its price of 35 yen. However, the price would gradually decline due to its demand. And Big Dog, saying that the demand was good, would definitely be an understatement. So much so that in 1963, Nissin was selling some 200 million servings a year. A year! Absolute madness. It was not until 1970 that Nissin launched the top ramen under Mr. Ando's own name. However, Mr. Ando was nowhere done with his instant ramen noodles creation. Back in 1966, Mr. Ando took a trip to the US, where he noticed Americans curiously ate literal forkfuls of noodles out of cups instead of bowls and chopsticks. So in true Ando fashion, he decided to change that way of eating. Could you guess what he created? Cup noodles. Yes, this cup noodles I'm talking about. 1971. They began to export instant ramen noodles from Japan under the brand name Oodles of Noodles, and soon afterwards rebranded to Nissin Cup Noodles in the following year. With this new product on the market, it was packaged in a foam food container to stores across the US. The noodles, broth mix, and sometimes a small collection of dried vegetables would either be microwaved or hot water poured in to be served to the consumer. Mr. Ando would be a true pioneer of the 20th century to create such a simple meal that anyone can make from the comfort of their homes and in essence change the lives of millions across the world. Fortunately, he would pass away at the age of 96, and his dream of having peace coming when people have food will definitely live on for years to come. Rest in peace, Mr. Momofuku. And if you find it hard to believe that Mr. Ando fed a lot of people across the world, then you will be highly mistaken. According to research gathered in 2019, the US had an average of 4 billion servings, but that was ranked at the number 6 spot compared to Indonesia's 12 billion servings at the 2nd spot and an unbelievable 40 billion servings coming from China and Hong Kong at the number 1 spot. That's one Chinese person eating roughly 2 servings of top ramen each. It should also be noted that alongside these massive servings, the companies are also pulling massive revenue. In the same year, Nissin reported a whopping 450 billion plus yen, which is roughly 4.3 billion US dollars. With these servings and sales in mind, it's safe to say that their culture and cuisine made it a perfect fit, and they loved it. Now you may be asking yourself, how is the Caribbean able to get instant ramen from companies like Nissin, Maruchan, Mama, and Samyang? Well, it's pretty simple. US featured retailers like Kroger or BJ's distribute or export the ramen, and the Caribbean countries and its food supply is imported. Pretty simple. And just like that, you have your favorite ramen stocked on the shelves of your local Massy, Extra Foods, Price Mart, or Chinese supermarket, to name a few. Grab as many as you want, cash out, and boom! You now have ramen. Now here's where things get a bit sketchy, and I know that some people will be understanding and some the complete opposite, but I'm just here to state the facts with a bit of my own personal opinions at the end. From that point onwards, you will have to make your own judgment. So, here are the pros and cons of instant ramen noodles. When it comes to the pros, it's pretty straight to the point. Number 1, it's inexpensive. In Trinidad, the price of a top ramen, for example, can range from $3 to $5. Number 2, it literally takes only minutes to prepare, roughly 4 to 5 minutes. Number 3, it's low in calories with only one adult serving coming in at 380. Number 4, provides iron, vitamin B and manganese. Number 5, and I know this might be your favorite, it comes in a wide variety of flavors. Take a look at Top Ramen for example. Top Ramen has chicken, beef, shrimp, hot and spicy beef, and soy sauce and chili, vegetarian style. So you do have a lot of choices to choose from. Number 6, there are no added MSGs or monosodium glutamate for the non-science students. Number 7, it weighs in at only 30 ounces or 85 grams. And number 8, it is undeniably popular in Japan. To say that it's not, it's like saying Trinidad and Tobago are 2 countries. Doesn't make any sense, big dog. You know the saying, the pros will never outweigh the cons? No you don't. Stop lying, cause I just make it up. By the way, it's copyright, don't say that. But would the cons steal the show? Let's find out. Number 1, it lacks many important nutrients like protein, fiber, vitamin A, C, and B12, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Wow, that's a lot. Number 2, it falls short in antioxidants and phytochemicals. Number 3, it's very high in sodium with one package containing 1,760 milligrams worth. Number 4, it has a lot of saturated fat with 33% or 7 grams worth. Number 5, it is made with artificial flavors and potentially dangerous preservatives. Number 6, it could increase the risk of a variety of health problems, examples are obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. For some greater context, the FDA's daily values for sodium and saturated fat are listed here. Compare that to what's in one pack of ramen and you get to frame the image in your mind. My viewpoint on this is pretty simple. Too much of one thing is not good for you, whether it be good or bad inherently. Ramen's inexpensive price with the simplicity to make and delicious taste will create a market. Market of Caribbean consumers that will keep coming back for more and more of your product. Additionally, the mindset of most consumers that give little or no effort to diversify something as simple as plain noodles with a packet of quote-unquote flavored seasoning due to being tired or lazy to do so, and there's a perfect storm. Ramen, the food that has the Caribbean hook.